Welcome to the demo of the Update 26B Workforce Pell Program Enablement in Student Financial Aid within Oracle Student Cloud. This feature enables you to identify and package eligible students for the Workforce Pell Grant in support of new requirements introduced under the One Big Beautiful Bill. Workforce Pell eligibility depends on the student being enrolled in a program that meets specific criteria, such as clock or credit hour thresholds, program length requirements, and state-level approval tied to in-demand workforce needs. It is also important to note that students cannot receive both the regular Pell and Workforce Pell simultaneously, and institutions must notify the Department of Education that the student is enrolled in a Workforce Pell eligible program and report the associated tuition and fees. To support that compliance, Student Aid provides two key capabilities. First, you can automate the required ED notification using ISER corrections. Beginning with 2627, you can configure ISER discrepancy logic to trigger an automated ISER correction that sets the new enrolled in eligible workforce program indicator field when your institution determines a student is enrolled in a qualifying program. Second, once the ISER correction is received, SFA will trigger repackaging and award Pell based on the updated ISER data. At the same time, SFA supports the required COD reporting for workers' Pell tuition and fees. You can set this value in configuration using the Pell awarding override logic in fazfundconfig.csv, and it will display in packaging within the Pell Fund eligibility UI. If you prefer not to set it through configuration, or if you need to adjust it prior to origination, users with the Pell Fund edit permission can enter or edit Workforce Pell tuition and fees directly in packaging UI on a per payment period or term basis. The system validates the value and allows it to be updated or cleared as needed. When you originate and disperse to COD, the tuition and fees value is transmitted using the new Workforce Pell tuition and fees element in the disbursement block. That same value is also available through reporting and extract views, so institutions can monitor readiness, confirm compliance, and support audit and reconciliation processes. Overall, these capabilities help reduce manual effort, improve consistency, and support accurate awarding and reporting for Workforce Pell eligible students. This demo shows how Workforce Pell enablement enhances your business. As previously mentioned, with this feature, you can award and package Workforce Pell by configuring ISER discrepancy logic to trigger an automated ISER correction that sets the enrolled in eligible workforce program indicator field when your institution determines the student is enrolled in a qualifying program. Upon receipt of the ISER correction, a repackage will award Pell based on the updated ISER data. Then, using either the award override criteria or a new OB3 criteria configuration, you can set your institutional values for Workforce Pell tuition and fees, which are required to be communicated to COD. In this example config, you will see that I have set a Workforce Pell tuition and fees amount of $5,000 for program GTA1 for the academic year. This configured amount is the value that will be communicated within the Workforce Pell tuition and fees tag to COD. If we now look at our example student on the ISER page, you will see that I have generated an ISER correction and received the corrected ISER with enrolled in eligible Workforce Pell program indicator equal to yes, student is enrolled in the workforce program. If we now move over to the packaging screen, for any student who has been packaged with Workforce Pell, you will now notice several new UI components that indicate a student has Workforce Pell. These components are viewable throughout the packaging UI, including the Fund Information eye and the Fund Edit button. Within the Fund Information eye, the value is viewable on a per term basis, and within the Edit Fund button, the value is viewable as well as editable on a per term basis. Here you can manually add Workforce Pell to any student by setting the Workforce Pell tuition and fees value, which will then be subsequently sent to COD on any future COD communication. The amount set per term by a user will be associated to any disbursement within that term. Lastly, if we move over to the Common Record Information screen, we can see that the Workforce Pell tuition and fees tag has been communicated to COD in an amount of $5,000 based on our configuration shown earlier in this demonstration.